we saw an incredible number of key advances that have both improved the lives of those living with the disease today and that have taken us so much closer to cures for type 1 diabetes. Let's take a look at what we saw just in the last year. An immune therapy was able to significantly delay, for an average of 2 years, the onset of type 1 diabetes. The drug is called teplizumab, and this was the first ever study in humans to show a delay of the onset of type 1. The drug is now being tested in a phase 3 clinical trial in people who've been recently diagnosed, headed by Provention Bio, a company with an investment from the JDRF T1D fund. If successful, we will be moving ever closer to a world without this disease. We also have to ensure that we improve the lives of the T1D community so that when we find cures, we will be there to reap the rewards. And there were a number of advances in this area. The US Food and Drug Administration has approved an algorithm that clears the way for the second artificial pancreas system to enter the market, the Tandem Control IQ technology. Use of the algorithm resulted in more time in range, with less highs and lows, and no severe low blood sugar events. This is a win for all of us in the T1D community, as it provides people with another option to improve daily blood sugar management. SGLT inhibitors, which have been approved for type 2 diabetes since 2011 and help diminish blood sugar swings, received approval for use within type 1 diabetes as well. European and Japanese authorities approved 3 SGLT inhibitors to use with insulin to improve glycemic control in adults. These approvals provide the international community with another option to improve daily blood sugar management. And we applaud the international community for these approvals. Our investment in the T1D space has been multiplied by the JDRF T1D fund, a venture philanthropy fund we started in 2016. Now just over 3 years old, the T1D fund has almost $100 million under management and has made almost $50 million in investments. One of those companies, Semma Therapeutics, made headlines when it was acquired by Vertex Pharmaceuticals for nearly $1 billion. Semma was founded by Dr. Doug Melton, who was backed by JDRF, work that Semma continues to advance toward novel beta cell replacement therapies for T1D. By bringing other larger firms' investments in the T1D space and reinvesting returns from its investments, we can leverage our resources much more quickly and strategically, with the ultimate goal to find cures for type 1 diabetes and improve the lives of those living with the disease today. Our volunteers, teams, and advocacy leadership have also done tremendous work this past year, passionately fighting for the renewal of the Special Diabetes Program and additional funding for T1D research. This included hosting our 2019 Children's Congress, with 165 student delegates sharing their personal stories and showcasing the need for ongoing research to find cures for T1D. JDRF advocacy has also been relentless in speaking up against the high cost of insulin and ensuring personal choice in treatments. Our chapters and community engagement teams have also increased educational efforts, mentorship, support for the newly diagnosed, and new information on advances in technology, medicine, and research that might help their personal management of this disease. Their work is both tireless and inspiring, and incredibly impactful. As a community, we want to grow stronger and healthier together. As an organization, we will push harder, faster, and with dedicated focus to get us to cures.
Good evening, everyone. I want to welcome you to the 2020 JDRF Hope Gala. My name is Larry Reese. I'm the Senior Associate Athletic Director for Development at Oklahoma State University. And tonight, in this crazy world, I'm your virtual MC. Yes, things are going to be a little different tonight, but we're going to have some fun. I've also been calling games at OSU for a very long time. So long ago, I was even calling games when Desmond Mason was slamming at home in Gallagher Arena. Now, I was not calling games far enough back when Scott Verplank owned the golf world as a Cowboy, but I just missed that. So I've been calling games at Oklahoma State in Boone Pickens Stadium and Gallagher Arena for 30 years. So time flies when you're having fun. And speaking of fun, we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. As you know, this is a great cause and we appreciate all of you. So I've got a lot of information I want to tell you about right here, so I'm going to end up reading some of it to you, and just bear with me if you would. So while many aspects of this evening will be unique, the JDRF mission to find a cure for type 1 diabetes has remained a driving force for the past 50 years. Whether you're at home or viewing from the home or office of a friend or a coworker or enjoying dinner at Gaillardia Country Club, we are thrilled that you have joined us. By the end of the night, through the power of this great community, we will have made a huge impact in the fight against type 1 diabetes and had a little fun as well. Virtual fun, I guess. In 1970, two moms joined to found JDRF. They were determined to bring hope to families across the world living with type 1. 50 years later, we have witnessed momentous change. There have been some incredible advancements thanks to supporters just like you. 50 years ago, insulins were still derived from animals. Because of JDRF research, synthetic insulins offer precision and flexibility to better balance blood sugar levels. We can also look back on prototype insulin pump that was so large that you had to wear it in a backpack. Can you believe that? We've come a long way. Today, insulin pumps are so compact, they fit in your pocket. Even just 30 years ago, there was no way to predict if someone would develop type 1. But because of your support and the support of so many, we can now detect T1D before symptoms arise, preventing catastrophic side effects. It's so important. While so much has been accomplished so far, the work to find cures continues. That's what we're doing here tonight. And with your help and generosity tonight, we will get that much closer to our goal. Whether you are here because of the love for a child, sibling, parent, spouse, or friend, you are part of something truly inspirational tonight. Quite simply, what we are doing tonight will change people's lives. Each one of us has a chance to be a difference maker. We have some special things I want to tell you about in store for you. First, I know you've all been busy bidding on those silent auction items. There are some incredible items. I'm just going to mention a few sports memorabilia items. A basketball signed by Chris Paul, CP3, right? And it was used in the NBA bubble this year. For all you Cowboy fans, the OSU Athletic Department has donated a Mike Gundy autographed football for you to bid on tonight. Looking for something for your next date night? Check out the custom Ray-Ban sunglasses or the Kendra Scott necklace. No matter what you're looking for, you're sure to find something special. The silent auction will close at the end of our program, so get to bidding now. It's all for a great cause. To tell us more about the Hope Gala, I would like to introduce Jessica Hickok. Jessica is the CEO for the Oklahoma Association of Realtors, a sponsor for tonight's event. Jessica is also the 2020 Hope Gala Chair. What a tremendous job she's done leading the way for JDRF. Jessica, how are you doing this evening?
I'm great, Larry, and I'm excited to be here tonight. My name is Jessica Hickok, and I have the honor of serving as the Hope Gala Committee Chair this year. In addition to that, I currently serve as the CEO of the Oklahoma Association of Realtors, representing almost 12,000 realtors across the state of Oklahoma. I was personally diagnosed with type 1 diabetes in 1996. And all those years ago, I had to learn how to deal with it just as the many families that are affected by it do today. I have been involved with JDRF for several years, starting actual local chapter of JDRF in Missouri a long time ago. When I was transplanted to Oklahoma not too long ago, I got involved with JDRF Oklahoma to help find a cure for type 1 diabetes. It has been 50 years that JDRF Progress has brought us to this place this evening where we can see a cure that is very close to our future. I'm excited to be part of it. It is important that we thank our sponsors this evening because without them, this event could not have happened. We are especially grateful to the Blue Cross Blue Shield of Oklahoma. They are the ones that stepped up to help us bring this Hope Gala into your living rooms tonight and make this a virtual event. We never thought we would be here with the pandemic in place, but we are still able to make it happen virtually so that we could bring it to us and be able to participate in raising a cure for type 1 diabetes. We are also lucky to have Express Employment Professionals sponsoring our auction this year. In the past, only those attending the Hope Gala in person could participate in the auction. However, now going virtual, Express Employment Professionals is sponsoring our auction to make it happen for everyone. Thank you to Express Employment Professionals. Now anyone can bid on these exciting items. Larry, I know our silent auction closes soon. How much longer do our friends have to complete their bids tonight?
Thank you, Jessica. I know you all are bidding away and keep doing it. It's all for a great cause. And I want to remind you, it's only money. Keep that in mind, all right? If you're lucky enough to win an item tonight, you'll be contacted Monday by a JDRF staff member or volunteer to determine how to get you your prize. Next, I'm excited to share our live auction lineup. These packages are incredibly special and bidding is open. The winners will be notified at the end of the program. Our first package is a once-in-a-lifetime experience for you and two friends to play a round of golf with OSU Cowboy legend, really one of the most popular OSU Cowboy basketball players of all time, former NBA slam dunk champion, Desmond Mason. Here's my buddy Desmond to tell you more about it.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Desmond Mason. I'm in the studio getting some work done, throwing some paint around. Excuse the attire. But first and foremost, my wife, Rebecca, and I would like to thank you for having us out. And then also, we'd like to thank you guys for coming out and supporting such a good cause. We have this auction item that we put together. We think it's going to be so much fun. It's 18 holes of golf at Oak Tree National with my brother, NFL quarterback Brandon Whedon, and myself. Being a small town Texas kid, that means I'm the best golfer. But we got top flight transportation out of Tulsa that's going to transport you from your location to the golf course, 18 holes, a 19-hole toast, and then back home safely. And then there may be something a little special at the end. So if you want to come out and see a PGA pro like myself, play some golf, basketball, art, it was okay, but my golf game is unbelievable. Come out and play with us. Let's bid high, let's do it for a good cause, and let's have some fun. Cheers.
I know one lucky winner will be glad to get to play golf with Desmond Mason and hear all kinds of stories about Eddie Sutton and his playing days and his NBA days as well. Our next item comes from our JDRF youth ambassadors who have worked hard to create this one-of-a-kind cornhole set. Everybody loves cornhole. As you can see from the photos, these pieces were created lovingly by type 1 champions who are eager to find a cure. This next item is also a lot of fun and one that is already receiving big bids. And here once again is Desmond Mason with his beautiful wife, Rebecca, to give you the details.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me again. So I'm a basketball player. I'm an artist. I'm also a golfer, PGA caliber, by the way. And then also I'm a chef. I'm a foodie. I love everything about it. So the next auction item we put together, that would be my wife, myself, and my mother-in-law, is a dinner with Chef Chris Becker, world-renowned chef in Italian food. He's trained in New York and all over the place. He's the founder of Della Terra Pasta. So Chef Becker's gonna be cooking a 5-course meal with a special guest. It's gonna be a little bedlam action. So we're gonna drive and pick him up at his house. I know it's gonna get a little controversial, but Coach Barry Switzer is gonna come out as well. I painted with him. I played in the studio with him with Wayne Coyne and Flaming Lips. I've been on a track with him as well. So such an amazing man. So Coach Switzer and I, my family, and all you guys are gonna be out. So bid high. It's gonna be an amazing time. The food's gonna be off the hook. We did it last year. It was absolutely incredible. We all left extremely full. So bid high, do it for a good cause, and we'll see you guys there. Cheers.
Desmond and Rebecca have a special connection to this cause, which is what inspired them to give so generously here tonight. In fact, beyond these amazing items you have heard about already, they have donated one more special piece. After completing his great NBA career, Desmond transitioned to a career as a professional artist. And man, he's a good one. He is now globally known for his artistic talent and has graciously donated the piece you see on your screen. I know you are all imagining just where you will place it in your home. It's a good one. Our final package comes from our friends at Diabetes Specialist of Oklahoma. Each year, DSOK hosts Camp Indris. This camp is exclusively for children living with type 1 diabetes and is also often described by campers as their favorite week of the year.
Our mission at Diabetes Solutions of Oklahoma is to improve the lives of those affected by type 1 diabetes through education, programming, and support. Here at DSOK, we provide various services to allow those with type 1 diabetes the best care. These services include medical supplies training, mental health counseling, medical supplies assistance, and more. We also have a large camping and outreach program called Camp Indris. Here at Indris, we provide various sessions ranging from all ages affected by type 1.
When I come to camp, I feel like I don't have to be afraid of what people say of me.
Luckily, my mom's a doctor, and she heard about Camp Indris, and I was able to come, and I've learned so much more about diabetes and how it's not a setback and makes you a stronger person.
Because we understand living with diabetes is tough, but you are tougher.
I can't wait to see how much money we raise for JDRF with this incredible auction. Phenomenal items. While it might be a bit different than the traditional live auction, isn't everything different in 2020? I know you will all be plenty competitive and ensure that we raise a whole lot of money to fight type 1 diabetes here tonight. While you're all bidding and keep bidding away, I would like to introduce Misty Stevens, Marketing Director for JDRF Oklahoma, to tell you more about the work being done locally to serve the type 1 community.
Thank you, Larry, and thank you to everyone that is a part of this lovely evening. I want to start by thanking Larry for all his efforts and enthusiasm for our cause. While I may be Sooner born and Sooner bred, I'm grateful for all the cowboys in the house that have made tonight special. I also want to share a bit about the work happening throughout Oklahoma. As you all know, COVID-19 has had a massive impact on JDRF. In fact, when we learned just how extensively our lives would all change, we were weeks away from our annual One Walk. But our supporters came together in remarkable ways. Tens of thousands of walkers from across the globe gathered virtually to support the Oklahoma T1D champion in their life. Our teams got creative quickly, continuing to raise money. Here's a peek at how they made it happen.
Someone in Oklahoma is diagnosed with type 1 diabetes every single day.
Every single day.
Every single day.
Every single day.
Type 1 diabetes strikes both kids and adults at any age, and today there is no cure.
But we are the stronger together type.
Even though we can't all be physically together today,
we are united digitally with a common goal:
to prevent, treat, and cure
type 1 diabetes.
We're the Lift Each Other Up type.
JDRF is the world's largest private funder of type 1 diabetes research.
In the last half century, we've invested over $2 billion to find cures,
while improving lives every day through advocacy and community engagement.
We're the Every Dollar Matters type, so your support and your work matter.
We're the Walk type.
And JDRF One Walk is a movement like nothing else.
Today, all across central Oklahoma, we're getting a move on. Families, co-workers, and friends are joining together to impact millions of lives
in the largest type 1 diabetes fundraiser in the world.
So, let's go.
Get moving.
Gather donations.
Raise awareness.
Because we are the Get There Faster Together type.
We are the leader of the pack type.
Join forces with us at the center of a global effort to help build a world without type 1 diabetes.
We're the Walk to Change the Future type.
And we're stronger together. Today, we're turning type 1
into type none.
Type none.
Type none.
Into type none.
We have also continued to ensure that every child and adult diagnosed with T1D receives a bag of hope or care kit to provide support and encouragement in the early days after diagnosis. When we could no longer deliver bags to endocrinology offices or hospitals, our volunteers deployed across the state to deliver them door to door. We also launched our T1D Connections program in May. T1D Connections is a program that pairs a mentor that has years of T1D expertise with a newly diagnosed parent or adult. These volunteers are incredibly valuable as new families navigate life with a type 1 diagnosis. Particularly during the isolating days of the pandemic, outreach volunteers provided a needed lifeline. One of our outreach volunteers is Shelby Beal. Shelby is the Chief Financial and Technology Officer for TTCU and happens to be our board president. Shelby, can you tell us a bit about why you and TTCU support JDRF?
Thank you, Misty. I would be happy to. I am proud to have been involved with JDRF since 2005. My daughter Tessa, who was the reason for my commitment to JDRF, was diagnosed with type 1 Thanksgiving weekend in 2004, soon after she had turned 3 years old. Like many families, my introduction to JDRF was through WALK. It was so inspiring to see the togetherness and the support at my first event. I then joined the JDRF Board of Directors and have continued to volunteer since that time as a board member, serving as board president, the government relations representative, and helping support WALK and Gala each year. What continues to motivate me is the research. Because of JDRF, we have made such amazing progress. In the almost 16 years since Tessa was diagnosed, we have evolved from her having to do countless finger and toe pricks, injection after injection of insulin, mixing different kinds of insulin, just hoping we could get close to being right. Compare that with the present day, where now, to check her blood sugar, she just looks at her insulin pump. If her blood sugar goes too high or too low, her pump automatically adjusts to get her back to a normal range. And this is just one example of the incredible progress made possible by JDRF that is dramatically improving the lives of people living with type 1. I'm fortunate to work for a company that believes very strongly in supporting our community. TTCU Federal Credit Union has always given back in many ways to the communities where we serve. When I began working at TTCU in 2007 and presented the idea of starting a JDRF WALK team to our CEO, he was immediately on board. Not surprisingly, I found out that we have several employees who have family members who have been impacted by type 1. Our culture is built around family, around people helping people. Our involvement has continued to grow each year in both WALK and Gala. The event tonight has been so exciting. As a lifelong Cowboy fan, I have to admit I'm a bit starstruck with having both my all-time favorite golfer and basketball player involved with this event.
Shelby, thank you for your support of JDRF. I am so glad to hear that Tessa has benefited from JDRF research advancement. Just make sure you're ready to swoop in with those final bids as we get ready to close our auction here as we're getting close to the end of our program. Now it is time, this is truly an honor, to recognize our honoree for the 2020 Hope Gala. Many of you know Scott Verplank from his days as a standout golfer, as an OSU Cowboy, as well as on the PGA Tour. After winning the USAM and the NCAA title as a Cowboy, Scott began his impressive career and is still playing professionally today. What you may not know is how significant his impact on the type 1 community has been. Over the past 7 years, I should say, the Scott and Kim Verplank Foundation has provided scholarships to 58 students totaling more than $1.15 million. I got to be a small part of their program prior to their golf tournament just a couple of years ago, and it's unbelievable the work they're doing. This work was inspired by Scott's diagnosis with type 1 diabetes when he was a child. Golf is a challenging game for everyone, but playing day after day while managing blood sugars creates significant obstacles for someone with type 1. Knowing the added effort needed to be a type 1 athlete, Scott felt compelled to use his foundation to provide scholarships to high school students who managed not just an academic workload, but also participated in team sports and successfully managed their diabetes. These recipients have attended schools throughout the country, including Stanford, Harvard, and Notre Dame, while 10 recipients have attended colleges right here in Oklahoma. Scott is personally involved in the selection of each scholarship recipient. Additionally, he stays connected to the students while they earn their degree, ensuring they have the tools they need to navigate college as a Type 1 champion. On behalf of JDRF, we are thrilled to honor the one and only Scott Verplank for his philanthropic efforts.
Good evening. Kim and I are humbled to receive an award from the Oklahoma chapter of the JDRF. We are so blessed and so lucky to even have the opportunity to give back. We really don't feel like we need to be awarded for anything. But we've been so fortunate to help kids out, help Type 1 diabetic kids. I believe we've given 58 scholarships, college scholarships over 7 years. And we've given over $1.15 million for all these kids. We've had 35 graduate and 23 are currently in college, and we'll give out, as long as we continue to raise money, we'll continue to give out more scholarships. We've just been so lucky to get to know all these kids. They've been so impressive. And it's really to help out their mom and dad as well. It's very expensive being a Type 1 diabetic. The amount of money that we try to give them each year is really as much to offset those costs as it is to go to college. But we know and we feel like the better educated and the more driven you are, the better off you're going to be. So that's been our goal, is to find kids that we think are going to be difference makers. Like I said, I feel blessed and lucky that I can actually do something and try to help other people, but I think I can find some kids that can do way more than me. So that's who we've been looking for these 7 years, and we'll continue to look for them, try to help them out, and try to get some superstars out there that can make a bigger difference than I can and can possibly find a cure and make the world better for everybody. So Kim and I and our foundation, we really appreciate the award, and we will continue to do what we can and fight the good fight. Thanks a lot.
Congratulations, Cowboy. Go Pokes. You are such an inspiration, Scott Verplank. Thank you for all you've done as a champion fighting Type 1 diabetes, including in your own life. You are truly an inspiration. And thanks for being a part of this evening as well. The live auction has just come to an end, which means it's time to turn our attention to the most important work we will do here tonight. To share a bit more about the impact of JDRF and what it's done over the last 50 years, let me introduce Bob and Lynn Archibald.
Well, I was diagnosed when I was 18, about 52 years ago, just after my last year in high school before I started college at TU. And it was a total surprise because there's no diabetes in my family. So we had to learn from ground zero, and it's been a learning experience ever since, with Lynn helping me the last 38 years.
Well, it's definitely been a learning experience. When we were dating, he told me he was diabetic, and I was just like, oh, you take shots. I was pretty clueless about the disease. Then when we got married, I would just freak out when he had a high blood sugar. And just been learning a lot of things about it as the years have gone on.
I think it's gotten easier because of insulin pumps, continuous glucose monitors, and the treatment is much easier now. Well, my doctor was Dr. Whitlock at the Glass Nelson Clinic near St. John's Hospital. So I went in for a college physical after we went on a 3-week vacation to like Yellowstone Park and places. And I was having trouble the whole trip with weight loss first and using the bathroom all the time. When we got back, we went for the physical, not expecting anything except they tell me I could enroll at TU. And that afternoon went right to the hospital because my blood sugar was so high. And I got the initial injection into my arm and didn't know what to do, and had several low blood sugars. The doctor's prognosis was, at Type 1 diabetes can set several years off your lifespan, and they weren't mincing any words about it. So I guess I was only 18, so it might have went in one and out the other. I didn't really think about lifespan, but you know, now I'm 69 and thinking about it a lot more. And I, you know, really with Lynn's help and the new methods of handling this, I've really been pleased that I've actually lived almost 20 years longer than they thought I might. So, you know, that's been really a blessing. Well, when I first started taking shots, there was the NPH, I believe, insulin that was good for like an entire day, but peaked out in the late afternoon. So you had to kind of pace yourself eating and activity-wise, and then be ready for a big drop if you didn't eat. You know, the big meal of the day was obviously dinner, because you were going to be battling this insulin that was trying to bring your blood sugar back into I guess, calibrate your blood sugar back into normal. I started out taking about 5 shots a day, but I still had to take the insulin, and sometimes the shot was just not quite as accurate as you can do it nowadays. So there was hit and miss through a number of years. Now you can monitor your child's blood sugar remotely on your phone. The spouse who doesn't have the disease has to do a lot for the spouse that has it because of complications that come along. And I've been blessed with very few complications. So, you know, you do what you have to do, and if it was going to be a backpack, because there's no cure, so I was set to try it. And, you know, and I think it was later than that, we actually went through an 11-year cycle where we moved, and in one of our locations in Cleveland, I got experience with the insulin pump, and changed to that about 20 years ago. And it's just been improving. New technology, new manufacturers, competition. It's just been improving ever since. It's fewer pokes, but they're more accurate. And you know, you get to the point, and Lynn can see it in my eyes.
I mean, I live with 3 Bobs, I say. Low blood sugar Bob, normal Bob, and high blood sugar Bob. The low blood sugar gets pale and quiet. High blood sugar Bob gets argumentative. From the things I would say is how I can tell.
And I don't know I'm doing it.
No.
No.
Yeah, when it's high, I finally learned, because I never, you know, we just keep arguing, so I just shut it down. And then once his blood sugar goes lower, we're back to normal. We can have conversation without arguing. It's just part of the blood sugar world. First off, get educated about the disease. I told you I really didn't know anything about it. And education is knowledge. And I would really strongly recommend that you share with people. We did not share when we were first married. We would not tell people that Bob was diabetic. He was kind of private about it, and I just took that lead. And there were times, you know, that he might be ill or something, and we'd have to miss out on something. And we didn't tell people the real reason, you know, and now we tell everybody. It's such a difference from when we were younger, but I'd say start young and share it with people. And if they're true friends, they're going to be there for you and understand and help. You're going to get frustrated and you're going to get angry at times, because there are disappointments that come with the chronic illness. Like we said, he hasn't had many complications, and there really haven't been that many ups and downs, but there have been times where, probably because of the diabetes, we had to miss out on an activity or event, and I would get angry with him. Of course, then I would feel guilty, and I always have to remind myself, it's the disease, it's not him. And just really be aware of your feelings and share them together. Otherwise, it can, you know, cause problems. Stay positive and take care of yourself. I mean, Bob's a wonderful role model of that. He does what the doctor says, and it pays off, because we know people that have had complications and lost their life because they didn't take care of their type 1. So
it's an adjustment to your life, but it's in no way needs to change who you are, where you want to, what you want to do.
Thank you, Bob and Lynn, for your continued dedication to JDRF and for advocacy for the Type 1 community. You know, Bob was diagnosed 50 years ago, and in that time, JDRF funded research has delivered massive changes that have dramatically improved the lives of those with the disease. Tonight, we will begin funding the next 50 years of progress, prevention, and cures. I invite you to consider your gift to JDRF tonight. As we have seen throughout the evening, we are strongest when we work together as a community, even when external circumstances keep us apart in this virtual world like we're having tonight. Let's use that strength to raise crucial funds for the future of research and advancement. From your mobile device, please make a meaningful gift in honor of the work that has been done and all that is left to accomplish. Every single dollar you give right now will go directly and entirely to research funding. So make it count. After making your pledge, you will see your name on our virtual recognition board. We are grateful to each and every one of you who have joined your peers in giving tonight. Thank you all for joining us in this difference-making night with JDRF, and please continue to support the cause and fight for all those Type 1 champions. Before we depart this evening, we have a few friends who have a little something to share.
Thank you for supporting the JDRF.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. See you next year.